Hello, my name is Amelia Lycan, and I wanted to make this video because I'm getting a lot of the same sorts of questions, and I wanted to reassure you that it does get easier navigating an online course. In your introduction discussion boards, many of you indicated this was your first online course. Some of you, this is your first class at CVCC. So I just wanted to let you know that, because I can hear some of the frustration in some of your emails. There's your stance, get that? See, you're studying rhetorical situations, and your stance or your tone, the way you feel about what you're writing is coming through. I can tell that you're experiencing a little bit of frustration. So I wanted to walk you through some things and just reassure you that it does get easier. One of the problems, I think, I'm not really sure on this is just my own opinion, is that, since you've been going to school, daycare all the way to kindergarten, and up until now, there's been a very set way of the day-to-day operations, where you sit and how you change classes. And in online classes, all that's completely new. Even if you've used an online portal, sometimes referred to as an LMS, it just stands for Learning Management System or software, like Canvas or Blackboard, Moodle. There's many of them now. It's really nothing more than like different versions of social media, like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Some of you may actually remember something called MySpace. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that, and really just kind of talk to you. That's why I turn my camera on, which I usually don't do. Because in online courses, you just kind of feel like you're out there by yourself, and you're not. You're really not. It may feel that way, but you're not. So, well, it still doesn't look like what you see. It'll let me do the student preview. So a lot of some of the trouble was I had something called adaptive release, which releases content based on an action that you perform. And I took that off of Module 1 because you were struggling with that, okay? I do want you to know, though, that in Unit 2, it really has to remain. And there's a very good reason for it, which is that if you think about a traditional seated class, a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, for instance, today I met with a class. A student would not ask me to explain an assignment that we were going to do next Monday. The student wouldn't even know what we were going to be doing next Monday, probably. And in an online class, you get to see more of that in terms of you get to see a summary of assignments, right? So you have an idea of what's coming, but you don't. It's not going to let me see it because it's saying I haven't done my MC whatever. Let me put it. Okay, so I had it set still for the mandatory course entry quiz to not show So what you'll do is you'll go into your course. Your landing page is always your course announcements. And I know that your instinct is to go to assignments. And I do want to point out that there's a forum here. Raise your hand so that if you have a question, chances are that other people have also have that question. And one of the things you can do is subscribe to it. And that way you get an email. I need to subscribe to this. I just did it. So that I'll get emails when someone posts that I see. I have 2 unread posts. And I think it might be because I'm in the student preview. But anyway, really what you need to do is go to course content. So this module that you open up here, Unit 1, this is like going to class. This is equivalent to walking through the door, choosing a seat, getting out a number 2 pencil, or opening your computer or logging in and looking through it. This is the class, essentially. So it's not just a list of assignments. It works very much like a PowerPoint in that you click this arrow here to go next. It tells you what our objectives for this particular unit or module are. And then a lot of you have said, how do I tell what's due? If you're looking in your Grade Center, everything may not show there. Again, that release of content, it may not display, and each module will always have a detailed summary of assignments, and it'll have this in both places. It'll have this in course content and under assignments. So it has a list here of the things that you're going to do, and then the reading assignments, you have to read through this. This is the equivalent of coming to class. And in fact, in my Seated 111, we talk about this. We do exactly what you're doing, except I say turn to page 33, and everybody turns to page 33, and I say some of this stuff, and then I'll say, okay, now it's your turn to read this essay, and I want you to read the essay on page 142, and you just keep going. And in terms of assignments, I have what's called a link, so that you don't have to know what page you're on, page 8, and to go to assignments. I have a link to the assignments as you come to them. So it will say click to launch. It's not going to let me because it's past the due date, but you get the idea. Trying to think if there's anything else. So the project, a lot of you had questions about the project. You weren't able to see it because the idea was that you did the exam, you wrote the summary and you wrote the analysis before it showed you this. And there are the instructions, and the same is true for the essay. Organizing your essay, it walks you through. It gives you, I give you an examples of what this type of essay is, of when you summarize and then analyze, and then summarize point by point and analyze. And again, I'm just walking you through the material in your textbook. But you have to do this. If you just go to assignments and look at the assignments here, I wouldn't know how to do this either. Writing a summary on what? So course content is really where you want to be.